Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today I got another video for you guys. And in this video we're going to cover the Blazers once again, and unfortunately this will be the last video of 2017 and 2018 because the Blazers would go ahead and get swept by the Pelicans in this playoff series. After losing the first two games in that last video I covered, we'd go ahead and lose two more. I'm going to cover those two games right now, so let's start off with the first game. So after playing the first two games of the series at home with home court advantage, we'd go ahead and go to New Orleans for game 3. And in this game, we went ahead and took the loss, of course, 102 to 119. In games 1 and 2, the main reason why the Blazers lost was because their leader, Damian Lillard, could not perform that well. In this game, it's good to see that he performed a little bit better, though, with 20 points, and CJ was above him with 22. I feel like one of them needed to score 30 points or more to try and lead us to a victory in this game, because everyone else couldn't do much. Looking at the stats, Al-Farouq was right behind them with 21 points and 8 rebounds. But from there, everyone did not perform that well. The two starters, Mo Harkless and Jusuf Nurkic, had 5 points. Off the bench, we had Shabazz with 5, Zach Collins with 6, Jake Layman with 6, Myers Leonard with 8, and that was basically it. So obviously, everybody except for those 3 players, Al-Farouq Aminu, Damian Lillard, and CJ, they played pretty badly. No one else got double digits, and of course, we're going to lose every time when only 3 players have double digits. Now, the situation would have been much different if one of those 3 players had scored 30 or higher, because as we've seen in the past, Damian can absolutely carry sometimes, even CJ, when they score 40 or more. But in this game, I feel like if just one of them scored 30 or more, it would have been just more than enough to win this game. Unfortunately, we didn't see that happen in this game, and that's why New Orleans beat us. Now let's compare box scores with New Orleans and look at how they did. Looking at their starters, 4 players had double digits. Rajon Rondo had 16, Jrue Holiday 16, Anthony Davis with 28, and then Nikola Mirotic leading the way with 30. He is really performing well in this series. I think he got in an incident really far back, causing him to get traded to the Pelicans, I think. That's when I think his facial bones were broken or something like that, because he got in a fight with his buddy Bobby Portis in Chicago. And obviously that fight really helped New Orleans because Mirotic absolutely stepped up in this series, and he became a whole new player, especially after shaving that beard of his. And having teammates like Jrue Holiday and Rajon Rondo only helped so much, because Rondo would get 11 assists in this game, and in the previous game he got 16. So he's obviously passing the ball to his teammates really well, making sure scorers like Mirotic can score all the time for them. And that's why they're able to dominate on us, because they have the passers and the scorers. And of course, on the defensive side, Rondo can steal the ball pretty well. Jrue Holiday was a defensive beast against us so far in the series. And Anthony Davis, being an MVP candidate, is going to play pretty well in defense as a center, especially against someone like Jusuf Nurkic, so he just helps the Pelicans in that aspect as well. And in this game, he got another double-double, so he's doing it on both sides of the court, obviously, and that's just going to hurt us over and over again. Since the Blazers could not contain New Orleans' best scorers and they couldn't perform as well on the offensive side, they just got completely shut down and lost this game 3. So at this point in the series, New Orleans led 3-0, and Portland had just about no chance of coming back. And obviously, any hopes of a comeback were demolished in the next game as we lost to New Orleans once again, 131 to 123 in New Orleans. In this game, a lot of our players actually stepped up and tried their best to keep us in the series. Unfortunately, some of New Orleans' best players played really well in this game and just absolutely shut us down. Starting with the Blazers, CJ had 38 points, showing his true talent finally after all those sluggish performances before. Damian only had 19 to contribute to that though, so maybe a couple more from him would have been good. Jusuf Nurkic had 18 and 11, good little double-double for him. Al-Farouq Aminu out of nowhere getting 27 points. He was splashing a lot in this series. He was trying his best, playing on a whole new level, and he just couldn't do much, obviously. And Evan Turner had 15 points as a starter as well, and then everyone else on the bench didn't really do much, with Wade Baldwin being the highest scorer with only 3 points. So looking at those numbers, it looks like we should have gotten a W with all 5 starters getting double digits and almost 20 and higher for each one of them. But when you look at the Pelicans side of the ball, it becomes really obvious why we lost, because 2 of their players, Anthony Davis and Jrue Holiday, got 40 or more points. Anthony Davis got 47 points with 11 rebounds, and then Jrue Holiday had 41 points. It's absolutely crazy to see 2 of their players scoring 40 or more, because you usually see one player shine really well in a game, but 2 players scoring 40 or more in the same game is just absolutely insane. I don't remember the last time I've seen a duo do that before in a game. That's absolutely crazy. Looking at the rest of the Pelicans, they still had some players back them up just in case they needed it, and they obviously did in this game, only winning by 8 points. So E'Twaun Moore scored 14, Rajon Rondo had 7 with 16 assists once again, and then Nikola Mirotic had 10 points with 11 rebounds. So if it wasn't already bad enough that 2 players had 40 or more points in this game, it becomes even worse for the Blazers when they see the other starters still contributing to this effort and just making it much harder on the Blazers to succeed. This game was obviously a scoring battle, seeing how many players were in double digits, but unfortunately the Pelicans would just go ahead and win this one, because having 2 players score 40 or more is just going to absolutely overpower the other team and make it that much easier for you to win. So I'm not too disappointed in the Blazers in losing this game, but it would have been much better if they won 2 of the previous games, or maybe even 1, to keep our hopes alive. But we would go ahead and get swept after this game. And that's just a big disappointment, because I had high hopes for the Blazers. They came as a 3 seed, and they unfortunately just got swept straight up by a 6 seed. So we might need to make some changes with the team or with the management. I have no idea what they need to do. We've lost 10 straight playoff games now. Pretty embarrassing, honestly. We need to find some success. But there's always the next season, obviously, so we just gotta hope that the Blazers make some moves in the offseason. Hopefully we can free up some cap space and maybe make some moves to make the team better. I think we should try and find a more defensive small forward, possibly. If we're able to keep Damian and CJ, then our offensive side of the ball is going to be perfect. But our defensive side is lacking, and that's why we lost the series against New Orleans. So if the Blazers are able to acquire a player that's really good at playing defense at either the small forward or power forward, maybe even center if we want, I think we'll have a much better chance of making impact in the playoffs and facing teams like Houston and Golden State that are offensive dominant. And yeah, I just hope that the Blazers can make some moves. And if they do, then I'll be really happy, and I'll try and make some videos on that in the offseason. I might keep making videos on the NBA playoffs even though the Blazers aren't involved, but we'll see how that goes. I'm going to try and make the series again next year if I want to, but I have no idea. I have a couple months to think about it. But if I do come back with these videos, then you guys should be able to see that in the sub box. I hope you guys enjoyed this new series of mine. We completed a whole season of videos, which I'm pretty proud of. I hope you guys enjoyed these videos. I'll try and come back with more sports videos in the future. And yeah, just subscribe for more videos. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and I will see you all later. First